Welcome back to another beautiful week. It is only 65, partly cloudy, and not going to rain today like they had originally talked about, which we could always use the rain, but I'm kind of happy about that now because do you guys ever get tired of seeing the sprayer? I mean, I don't, but do you guys? Anyway, if you do, sorry. Keep watching. It won't be the whole video. But somebody put that on tight. Are going to be, hopefully, finishing up bean fungicide this morning. Well, today. I don't think I'll get it done this morning. Never fails. Someone always gets in a hurry on a Friday afternoon and doesn't fill the equipment. Wonder who that could be. Alright, should be good to go. Not gonna lie though, probably just stood there for over 3 minutes recording that nozzle, waiting for it to click. But I got it. You can start to see already where Kyle and Dad sprayed our field edges. Get those weeds killed and they will look a lot better. Well, about 30 minutes later and I'm almost here. But road time is the worst part about this. Wouldn't it be nice if like you could just take all the acres that you farm, plop them right in one big square and just farm that square? How efficient would that be? As long as it was good ground. You wouldn't want that bad patch. But anyway, I'm here now. Kyle went ahead and we kind of calculated what acres we had left. He had plenty of room in the tanker to get that partial. So he's filling up this morning. Should be the last pull. And then all the acres we have left to spray should be on the tanker, which will help with our efficiency since we're a little further up north. A little further away from the co-op right now. The only thing left to do, pull in and get started. Try and hit my tracks from post. You can kind of see them. Like a bird spreading its wings. 120-foot wings. These are some good looking beans. Tall. Coming about halfway up my tires already. The unfortunate part about that is we have found that the height of beans does not typically correlate to yield. We've had some beautiful, really tall, luscious beans before that really haven't yielded all that great. And then you get the real short, stubby ones that are almost impossible to get the bottom node off the ground into the bean head. Yield fantastic. So, but either way, these beans are a lot nicer to look at throughout the year. This may have been a bad idea. I'm gonna end up soaking my legs for no reason. Because the beans are still a little wet, and look how tall they are. And these things are still in the R3 stage. But I saw this and wanted to stop and check it. Look at this. Almost a perfect circle. Beans that tried to grow, but died out a while back. No idea. I'm almost done with our acres as far as fungicide goes, and this is the only one I've seen like it. Now I've got plenty of small holes from, call them voles. They look like little mouse things. But you can tell those pretty easily because there were never beans there. The voles eat the seed before the crop ever comes up. Those beans tried to grow and then died. I have no idea. If anybody watching this knows a little more about that than I do, leave a comment for me. And right on cue, I've got a tanker waiting for me. Do it all again. Well, there's a couple things I just learned from watching that. One, it's extremely satisfying to watch me paint across the field. And two, that video, I think 16 minutes before I sped it up. And it's crazy how fast I can cover 35 acres when it's just a big square field. But another one off the list. Time to fold up and head to the next one. One of our wonderful wet holes that did not get planted this spring. That is nothing but a mess of water hemp. So that'll all go to seed, be nice and fun this fall. But we're lucky that that's all we have. It's just little spots like that, and only a couple of them throughout the farm, honestly. Just like that, spraying through the waterway. Give you guys a quick shot of what my section control does as I come up to the waterway. See? Accurate enough for fungicide. I've got a little buddy out here in the field with me. See if I can get another glimpse of him. Oh, right there he is. Little fawn. He still had his spots on him. I saw the mama. She's out roaming around. Beans are tall enough you can barely see him. I thought he laid down, but turns out he just crossed the road into the woods. Getting ready to do my last pull. Here's the moment of truth where we figure out if I calculated my acres correctly or not. I have about 50 acres left, and as long as I have less than that in the sprayer when that tanker's empty, it's good enough for me. I don't care if I run short, I just don't want extra. I misspoke. I said 50 acres, I've got 65. So as long as I'm under 650 gallons, we're good. There it is. Probably by the time we empty the hose, it'll be about 450. So, it's gonna end up being about 20 acres short on my last 40 acre field, which is perfect. This is actually the most even I have ever seen this field. And I say that because this 40 acre field right here, you probably can't really tell, but it's a huge hump. And what it is it's old reclaimed coal mine ground. It does not handle wet, and it does not handle dry. And usually we have one or the other throughout every single year. So usually by the end of summer, this field gets hit pretty hard one way or the other. But so far this year, we have been spoon-fed our water. So, as far as this field goes, we just gotta wait and see how it continues. But because it's a poorer field usually, and the yield potential is not really there, that's why we don't usually put the money into fungicide. Ergo, why I am okay not finishing this field out. I have 21 acres left, but I've only got 3 acres of spray left. So it looks like I'm going to get about half the field done. So it'll be a good, if nothing else, it's a good check strip to see if fungicide really helps this field at all. I am officially done with soybean fungicide. Gotta love how quick it goes. I think hard day Friday, half a day Thursday, and more or less a full day today. I think it's after 3 o'clock already, and we started first thing. So 2.5 days, and I can get all of our acres covered. That's what I like. Well, turns out I didn't have any water in my fresh tank to rinse out while I was in the field, so made it back to the shop. Gonna have to take some time and get fresh water into my clean water tank so that I can flush out the majority of the chemical in my boom, just because I don't want it. It's not like it'll hurt what I'm spraying next, which will be probably our wheat field here in a couple days, but I don't want it sitting in the boom. I'd just rather have somewhat fresh water than a full dose of fungicide and insecticide. And in about 40 minutes, I'll have a full freshwater tank. Alright, didn't do too much with that. Got the water tank full. Pushed about 60 gallons through the boom back into the tank. I'll just use when I go to spray up the weed. It won't hurt anything. And that'll be a good way to utilize that contaminated water without just dumping it on the ground somewhere. So I'm gonna go do something here that I'm pretty excited about. Can you guys guess what it is? Any guesses? Guesses? Yep, it's sweet corn. Sweet corn is finally ready, and I'm gonna go from waiting all year for it to probably being sick of it in about 2 weeks. That's how much we eat. But I think I'm gonna start out now. I'm gonna pick a couple dozen, share some with the family, and then get out of here. Oh. Anybody know what this is? They call it smut. And it's actually a delicacy in places, which freaks me out. I had a chance once down in Mexico to have smut rice. And when you know what smut is and what it looks like and the fungus, yeah. I'll try just about any food, but that's one I couldn't make myself try. Anyway, time to pick some corn. There's my first dozen. And there's my second dozen. I got 12 yellow and 12 tricolor. It's one way to make my wife happy. Keep bringing home sweet corn. Well, I've started making my way towards home, but things never end. So we finished up soybean fungicide today. So what am I looking at now? Corn. Time to start scouting corn and figuring out when we want to have it sprayed for fungicide. So a lot of the times we used to spray back when the field was 90% tasseled, I think. It went on based on pollinating, when things were pollinating hot and heavy. But as things have progressed, as we've changed some of the things we've done, we've started being able to push fungicide application off later and later, which gets us more protection later in the spring or later in the season. So what I'm looking at now, I think this was our first field planted. And we've gone from our tasseling time frame to brown silk, which brown silk these are the silks. This is what catches the pollen from the tassel and pollinates the ear. So brown silk, common sense tells you when the silks turn brown, and that's correct. So those are brown, but then you've got ones like this that are still alive. Still some live ones here. Definitely here. We're getting close. But we're definitely not to true brown silk yet. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you've made it this far, I really appreciate you watching the whole thing. Your support is what makes this channel what it is. It's what motivates us to keep going. So hit that thumbs up button for me if you guys would. Subscribe if you haven't, and as always, we'll see you guys in the next one.